Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and Friends.
Welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Good morning. It's a Thursday morning, August 14th on KLAV, 12:30 a.m. And my special guest this morning is recording artist Elizabeth Pope, who's going to be calling in a few minutes. And, of course, we have Chef Michael. And good morning, Chef Michael.
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? You know, we had a fabulous night last night. In fact, we just stopped over at Sienna's authentic Italian trattoria to pick up a little quiche. But last night, we had a wonderful evening. And we had, of course, the band with us. We had Chad Michaels. We had Spider on bass. We had Jimmy Molador on saxophone and Joey Vespi on drums. And we also had some wonderful singers that sat in with us last night.
Last night was absolutely unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It was one of those rare nights. I mean, that place was full. Super full. Over full.
It was packed. It was a packed house.
Packed house.
In
a
other
lot of
words.
people say that, you know what I mean? But then they don't. They got like 12 people.
No. This was packed.
This place was
packed. In
packed.
fact, one of the owners, Antonio, he could not even, he lost his seat because it was so packed. And we had Giancarlo there and Jackie there.
And Giancarlo was serving, he was serving the meals. I laughed. I was so funny. But last night was great. It was, we had a ball. You know, naturally, I always mention every day, the Grazos, the billionaires.
And the Pascals.
But we always mention them because they're very supportive and they're very good friends. And we had just a magnificent time.
And we had Bill and Madeline.
Yeah, they had a great bunch of people.
Robert Turner.
Right. But here.
Shallow.
Keep going, honey. Let me know when you're done.
The list is so long. But
anyway, what we did is, Wednesday night, we were swinging, man. And there was about 4 guys at the bar. And I had such a kick out of these guys.
And these are regulars.
Regular guys.
They go in there, yes.
And they were so impressed with the show. Let me tell you something. In Las Vegas, years ago, and I've been here since '74, you could have went in any lounge. And what you seen because that was great. Freddie Bell, the Vagabonds.
Cedro's Armada.
I mean, what's the other kid's name? Some of these other guys, I forgot. But anyway, there was a gang of guys that were out there that really swung. Santa Fe, that's it.
That was it. Those were the 3 huge big bands. And I was in, not big band, show band. Yeah. And just fabulous. And yeah, we don't have that thing really anymore.
My shift was from 12 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning at the Sahara. That was my shift, from 12 a.m. to 6 in the morning. Today, at 10 o'clock at night, you can throw a cannon down half these casinos because people go to bed.
That's right. And we were there till 12:30 last night. I mean, by
the time you pack the drums and take the stuff out of there, oh my God in heaven. But I got to tell you, it was that one day a week that we're there. It's incredible. And what I'm so proud to say, our television show starts in a few weeks, and we're going to be doing, thank you. That's my mother and father out there. Thanks, Mom. What we're going to do is we're going to be doing the show from Sienna's, not live, but it'll be, taped, and it'll be on Saturday morning and Sunday. So now people can sit back, not only watch the entertainment, but Giancarlo, and myself will be in the kitchen, and we'll make it all the different recipes. And real quick, we had from the Tuscany.
We had Jerry.
Came by. The chef, Jerry.
That's right.
I love that kid. His wife's about 9 foot.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's such a beautiful woman and just the sweetest person. And, but you know what you forgot to say about those 4 guys that were sitting at the bar?
Yeah, that's right.
These guys, they come there on a regular basis, but they usually come at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, they came up to us. A couple of them came up to us at different times throughout the night. And this one gentleman came up and he said, you know what? He goes, I've been here since 4 o'clock this afternoon. And he said, you guys are absolutely amazing. And he goes, I've been trying to leave for the last 2 hours and you just won't let me. He said, because the entertainment is so great and I'm just having such a good time. And he said, we don't normally hang out here, late. Yeah, we just come in, 4 to 6 or whatever it is, and then they're gone.
They have the happy hour, they have a few drinks.
Yeah, they stuck around and
get a meatball sandwich.
And also, one of the things that was extra special is we had Ricky Cash and Aaron Phillips were there from Vegas Unwrapped.
Yep.
And again, they are there with us every Wednesday night. And they interview the entertainers, they interview the guests, and also some of the staff members. And they're just fabulous. I just got to say thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Ricky. We know you're listening. We know you guys, and Ricky Cash's wife did a great job.
Oh, yes, she did. I'm sorry I don't know her name, but,
Mrs. Cash.
She's the one, she's the one that's making sure that the light is shining on so that you can see everybody. Right. And it's really a great team, and we want to thank them again. And then also we had
Paris Red sat in.
Paris Red sat in.
Knocked them dead as always.
Yeah,
David Costa.
CeCe Spencer.
I called her CeCe Ryder.
That's right. He's part of the man.
He's part of the band.
So, and of course, Jimmy Mulador is absolutely amazing. And he started off with the September song again.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I said, no ballads. And I was thinking, he said, Mikey, let me play this.
He says, Mike, let me play. What do you think? I don't know. I've had my own shows for years.
So I'm trying to sing, can't friggin' sing a note, scat, nothing with this broad. I can't do. What am I going to do?
But anyway, we have a very special guest.
Who? Sinatra.
And she is on the phone right now.
Barbara Streisand.
She's a recording artist, and she is Elizabeth Pope. And
Elizabeth Pope.
Yeah.
I love Elizabeth Pope.
And in fact, we've got some of her music in
I
here
love it. I listen to it all the time.
Hi, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm excited. You've got a really long history about, having some challenges in your life, and also you're working with organizations now that help disabled, that help to raise funds for things, and you also got your music, your singing, your songwriting. You've had a lot of history to tell us about here today. So welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
Hi, Elizabeth Pope. I love you so much. You're so good.
Thank you.
See, you're already part of the family.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you were there last night, Elizabeth. They would have loved you.
I know. Well, we're gonna have to get her here to Las Vegas when we start doing the TV show.
Great.
Yeah.
And I've actually never been to Las Vegas before, so that would be great.
Oh, you haven't?
You'll never go
Oh
home.
my gosh! Well, this will be great. Tell us, Elizabeth, a little bit about how you started out and got involved in music.
Well, I kind of started really at a young age, kind of listening to different records my parents had. I mean, a huge variety. I mean, probably like Frank Sinatra and just a whole bunch of different music. And then from there, I kind of started learning how to play the piano, and then I started getting some lessons as I got older on the guitar, and I really started doing a lot of songwriting then. And then from there, I just kind of kept with it and got a lot of education opportunities to really work on my music and really hone my craft for a few years. And then I have a background in radio broadcasting, so that really...
Hey.
that really helped develop, again, my artistry, and I got to do a lot of live...
It's a lot of fun being in broadcasting, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I worked in the radio industry for a little bit. And then from there, I kind of started working, with people with disabilities from that point, and really being able to help and make a difference in people's lives. So.
Well, I have a question for you, Elizabeth.
Yep.
I'm standing next to a gentleman who is not only a great performer, a great drummer, he is also a wonderful chef. And I know you've listened to the show, and you know that he gives out special recipes for us every morning here on KLAV. And I want him to talk to you and find out what your specialty would be if you were looking for an Italian recipe.
What's your favorite Italian dish, Liz? Tell me what you like.
Okay, well, that's really great because I'm half Italian, so
I knew that.
So one foot is, one of your feet is purple and the other one's regular. That's what you're telling me? Hey, that was Joey Vespi, still performing.
Yeah. I really like, I really prefer actually angel hair pasta.
Okay, well, there's over 300 different pastas. You got angel hair pasta. Now you got the Italian, which is called linguine. You also got capellini. Capellini pasta is angel hair too.
Yeah.
And one thing about capellini pasta, when you let the water boil, you throw that in. And be careful, because what the last thing you want to do is you want to overcook angel hair.
That's right.
Because I'm telling you, it'll break apart and get like real mushy, like mashed potato. But now we know that you happen to love Angel Hair pasta. What I want you to know, asking, is what kind of Angel Hair pasta do you like? I mean, what do you want on it?
What do I usually like to I usually like vegetables, probably shrimp, and the capellini would be great.
Capellini is the same thing as Angel Hair. So you would like a shrimp scampi? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Yep.
With some vegetables.
Well, let me give you what vegetable you can. Let me give you the recipe because I'm going to give you a recipe. All right. Now the key to any shrimp dish, and listen to me, everybody out there, and we got 90,000 listeners that listen in, and we have over 1 billion people watching us every day. No, that's Carl's money I'm talking about. Anyway, this is what you do. The key to that is when you get your shrimp. Now, let's say we're going to talk about 4 people, because the average person usually cooks for 4. So I'm going to give you this recipe for 4 people, not 400. You buy yourself 3 pounds of the shrimp. You can have the small ones, the big ones, whatever one that you want. The tiger prawn, doesn't make no difference. But here's the key. Listen up, Liz. Got your pencil? Mm-hmm. Good. Peel your shrimp. Now, see the shells that people would throw away because naturally you can't eat them? Here's the hook. When you get your oil, you got to fry your shells in the oil. Let me say that again.
Why do you do that, Michael?
If you give me a chance, lady, I'll tell you.
I want to find out.
All right. You fry your shells, Liz, you fry your shells in the oil. Now, as you fry those shells, you will see that oil turn orange. You take the shells out, okay? That oil has the flavor of the shrimp. Why do you fry oil in garlic? To get the oil to taste like the garlic. Why do you fry onion in oil? Because you want to get that flavor. Now, once you have that flavor in the oil, then, because shrimp, you cook no more than 1.5 minutes. You say a Hail Mary. Okay? If you're Catholic, say a Hail Mary, they're done. You take the shrimp out. Once that shrimp turns, if you keep cooking that shrimp, Liz, I'm telling you, you're going to be chewing on it for an hour. You drop that shrimp down and you take it out. Once the shrimp is done, then you add, believe it or not, you add a little bit of clam juice. You add yourself a little bit of chicken stock. Not kidding you. Okay. Garlic. Then you fry your garlic and your parsley and your sherry wine and your lemon. And then I always work with Wondra. I love Wondra. You can get it at Smith's. Okay, now there's a big store where you're at, right? Now it's not called Smith's. What's the big like AMP store that where you're at? What's it called? Liz, don't you go shopping?
Yeah, I do, but I don't. There's so many.
What's your favorite store where you shop?
I generally like. Since I'm in California, they have like Nob Hill or Bel Air or something like that. So they have a pretty good selection of seafood. So that's usually where I like to go.
Okay. Well, anyway, you go to any one of those big stores, Acme stores, Smith's, Albertsons, Vons, Nob Hill, whatever. Okay, and you buy a thing called Wondra. Wondra is a combination of a flour and a cornstarch base. Okay. Now, I love working with Wondra is because you can never hurt that sauce, and that's what makes a gravy. Then you tighten up your sauce because you don't want it. You got that liquid, that beautiful liquid flavor. But if you pour it over the macaroni, when I say macaroni, the pasta, it'll roll off the noodle. You don't want that. What the Wondra does, it makes it stick. So when you turn that pasta on the fork, you get the whole flavor, the bouquet, the taste of that pasta. And you tighten that up because this dish here takes no more than 5 minutes to make. And then you put your shrimp that you just took out because you don't want to overcook it and put it on your pasta and put that sauce over that capellini pasta. I'm telling you something, Liz, unbelievable. But the key, thank you, that's all my cousins out there. They're clapping for me because they know they're going to get a free meal later. They would love it because the key is the shrimp shell is the key for the flavor. Trust me. So try that, ladies and gentlemen out there. And that is my recipe for today. And I just gave the recipe to Miss Pope.
Thank you so much, Chef Michael. And Elizabeth, hold on, because we'll be right back. And we've also got Guido Maston is on the line, and we're going to be right back with after a message from our sponsors.
Oh, yeah, our sponsors. We love them. We love them. Thank you. Thank you.
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
Oh, I feel
and you never know what to expect here.
Yeah. And Mike Leonetti on the radio every day. Keep tuning in. Thank you. There's no other radio show like it. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. The phone lines are open at 702-731-1230. Now, here again, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. What happened to Chef Michael? Chef Michael, come back. Anyway, we've got Elizabeth Pope. She's a recording artist, and she also does a lot with the disabled people. She raises funds. She helps with organizations. So, Elizabeth, you still there?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay, and also we've got Guido Maston on the line, and I think he wants to ask you a question. Good morning, Guido. How are you?
Guido, you dirty
Good morning. Hey, good morning, people. How are you?
All right, paisano, che si dice wayo? Ganda, wayo.
Yeah, Elizabeth. Guido is a fellow musician. He plays guitar, and he plays rock and roll, and he is definitely a rocker. He plays one of those double guitars, too.
And where were you last night, Guido? Why didn't you come to this? Well, I'm glad you didn't, because you couldn't have got in.
He was on the other side of town.
Uh-oh.
Keep on, Michael, because I'm going to challenge you to a cook-off.
Whoa.
I'm ready, kid. You want to step in the ring with the champion? Come on in.
So,
Come on in.
So Guido, you said you know one of the mothers of one of the sirens.
Yes, her name is Cynthia.
Cynthia?
Yes.
And who's she the mother of?
She's a violinist.
Oh, so you don't know which one she's the mother of. You just know she's the mother of one of them.
No, I just know her mother, and she pulled her up online. She's phenomenal.
Oh,
well, those kids last night.
Highly accomplished.
Yeah.
Those kids came last night and sat in.
Yeah, Elizabeth,
oh my God,
yeah,
it was incredible.
Elizabeth, what we do is on Wednesday nights we have a show over at Siena's Italian Authentic Trattoria, and it's a great Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
It's got a deli, it's got a bar. It's a beautiful place over on the west side of town here. And what we do is we have a jazz and cocktails night.
Right.
And we invite some guests to come and sit in with us. And the Siren Strings are three young ladies, and one plays the cello and the other two play violins. And that's who we're talking about, that Guido knows one of the
those kids are phenomenal. Then we have Marco Varela. And what was the other kid's name, the opera singer? The fact they're going to be performing
we had Daniel
Saturday.
Daniel Emmett, and we also had Tommy Wood. Tommy Ward.
Yep.
Sorry, get that right. And they are doing a show this Saturday, and it's going to be, I see, Bocelli and Bublé.
Right, at the Italian American Club.
Yeah.
And Evan Davis, I know he's listening.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And he had the show tickets last night, and he was actually, high pressuring people. He wasn't. And Evan Davis is the jazz
actually, there's a lot of people from last night's show that came to see us that are going to be out there Saturday night. It's Start Spreading the News concert starring Tommy Ward and Daniel Emmett, Italian American Club Ballroom, August 16th, 8 p.m. And the tickets are only $20. But these guys are amazing, amazing singers, and so we had a lot of young talent there last night.
Yeah,
so
we're going too. We're going to go down. We're going to go see these kids.
We had Claudia Gutu, and she's
she was great
Romanian.
Too.
Beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice.
What?
Yes.
What's that?
Well, that's if you're Armenian, you wouldn't understand what that means.
Well, but I'm not.
See, I'm Armenian.
He doesn't know what it means.
I was born in Armenia, and I was kidnapped by gypsy slaves. I was taken to Italy, and then from Italy, I was shipped over to Philadelphia, and then I went to reform school, then to prison. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Elizabeth, you didn't know what you were getting yourself into today, did you?
What a crazy show.
No, I didn't.
Liz, that's why we're number one. We got 90,000. People get up in the morning. I had one guy said, I sit on, this is a true story, Liz.
Don't
One
say
guy,
that.
no, I'm being serious. The guy's sitting on the toilet. He says, I couldn't go. He said, but when I sit down and I listen to you and I laugh, he says, something comes over me and bada boom. He says, I feel great.
Bada boom,
Oh,
bada boom, bada bing.
Bada boom.
Anyway, well, listen, Guido. So, did you have something special you wanted to talk? What'd you just do, Michael?
What's that? I dropped my wallet. I almost broke my foot.
Oh, yeah. I wanted your listeners to really understand the appreciation I have for you guys and
thank you.
Helping me with the situation that was going on. You guys are very funny. It's a great show. Your guests that you pull are phenomenal. They really are.
Well, thank you.
I basically called in to give you guys props.
Thank you, buddy.
Oh, thank you.
Well,
That
you know
was nice of
something,
you.
Guido? We got a surprise for you. We're going to television. We're going
I
to
know
TV.
that. I've known this for about a year.
Yes,
Michael.
we're going to go to TV. People start at radio, and that's you start from the basement.
We like both.
And we like both.
We like both.
Right, but we're going to TV, and I'm going to tell you something. It cost us a fortune, but the bottom line is that it's going to be on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock.
I'm writing
right, honey?
the checks.
11 in the morning. I write the checks that make the whole world sing. Anyway, we're going to be on television, and the best part of this is it's a combination of the cooking show. So what you got is you got a Rachel Ray show, a Dr. Phil show, you got Johnny Carson. You know what I mean? You got this is one show that's got everything, and I'm telling you, believe me. Everybody that's out there is going to be watching because of they got 90,000 listeners.
Because if you don't, he's going to send somebody.
I'm sending my cousin Antonio Andolini, and I can't wait to get Giancarlo. I love that name.
I know.
Every time I talk to him, hi Johnny, he goes, my name is Giancarlo. I'm in the bathroom next to him. He goes, my name is Giancarlo. I said, so what? You told me 50 times.
Mike, when you do your first television show,
yeah.
Because you got your cooking show going on there?
Yeah.
I'm going to be there. You and I are going to go
Get the hell out. You got to make sure you know what the hell you're doing before you step in the ring with me, kid. What are you going to make?
Not only that, I'm going to serenade you with an acoustic guitar to really whip your tail.
Oh, mommy.
Well, thank you, Guido, for calling in today. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, you guys are wonderful.
Okay, but listen in. I want you to listen in because we're going to play some of Elizabeth's songs right now. Okay, we're going to play one of her songs. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Thank you. So,
where's calling from, honey?
What?
Where's she calling from?
California.
California.
Where at in California are you, Elizabeth?
I am actually, I'm calling from a town called Auburn, California.
Oh, that's where the rich people live.
Well, where's Auburn?
It's probably about 30 miles outside of Sacramento. In Sacramento.
Oh, okay. So you just get on that road and go to Lake Tahoe too, right? It's very easy.
Yeah. Lake Tahoe is really about an hour, 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Where you live, Liz? The rich people live there. They don't get the crabs. They get the lobsters.
Oh, dear.
What? That went right over my head. Anyway, Elizabeth, tell us about the song that we're going to hear first.
Which track are you?
I don't know. I have two songs here. Which one do you want to play? You said you had two songs you gave.
The song that both of those songs are on my EP, which is the next chapter, and that's actually set for release tomorrow. It's going worldwide and to all major music outlets. So the song "Little Darling," that's a song I wrote a few years ago. It's just about my family, kind of, and I'm narrating throughout the song. And the second one is "Extinguished," and that one is kind of a personal song. So anyway, but yeah, "Little Darling" is a song I wrote a few years ago, and I know everyone really likes that.
So let's start with "Little Darling."
I love "Little Darling," the Bite of Diamonds.
To the city, strumming my 6-string guitar, a few riffs of Dylan, but that tune was in my head. Little darling, don't you cry. Little darling, don't you cry. Little darling, don't you cry. Wave goodbye now. Wave goodbye now. My family sits on the dark gray porch. Shades of blue, shades of yellow, shades of purple, and maybe red. They're singing a tune in their head, and this is what they said. Little darling, don't you cry. Little darling, don't you cry. Little darling, don't you cry. Everything will be alright. Everything will be alright.
great. You know, so are you playing the guitar?
Yeah,
also?
I do.
So is that a 12-string?
I have a 6-string guitar. I do like the 12-string. I know how to play the 12-string, the bass guitar, and I'll play the electric guitar.
But that has that kind of a sound, like a 12-string, you know, like the way you're plucking.
Well, she said "Little Darling."
I don't know.
When you said "Little Darling," I said, "I love the Little Darling" from the Diamonds. "Little Darling," dope. Because John Lindquist with the honorifics, that's one of his things, you know. But I love the "Little Darling" song. It really was.
Well,
cute.
What's great about songwriting is that you can't copyright song titles.
I do. I don't care.
You know, there's songs. In fact, I wrote a song called "Summertime," and somebody said, "Well, you know, summertime, everybody's going to sing summertime."
Is easy.
You know, so I called it "Okay," you know, a love in the summertime.
Oh yeah, that's it, baby.
But so how did you get your inspiration for this song?
Well, the inspiration really behind it was just one day I was writing. I was actually away on vacation, and I just decided those lyrics just came really quickly. So when I write what I feel. So when all that started coming, I'm like, I better write this down. So
now, what genre? So what genre are you going under? Folk or American music?
Well, I'm a kind of a multiple, genre artist. So this particular song ideally is geared towards folk and singer and songwriter type.
Okay, folk and singer songwriter. Because I know now for our listeners out there, when you are a recording artist, you have to pick a genre that you want to promote your songs on. Now, I remember when Taylor Swift came out and they produced her, what they did is they actually had her on five different Billboard charts at the same time with one song. But you have to pay. You have to pay for all of that, promotion to get on each, to get on the different charts. But I would think that would be folk. But also, it's Americana. Americana is another genre that I think you could go under.
Yeah, I've heard Americana.
And Americana is a huge area and to go under for your style of music. So I would definitely think that you would go into that. You know what? I've got to go to a break now, Elizabeth. So hold on.
Okay.
If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
Oh my God, Carl, what are you doing, buddy?
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
Yeah.
My mouth is still full.
Yeah, because you're eating quiche.
I'm trying to.
You're eating quiche.
No, we stopped over to Sienna's and I picked up some quiche, spinach quiche, and so I hadn't had a bite yet. And I wanted to try it, and it's absolutely fabulous. So I just want to say, you gotta go to Sienna's. You gotta check it out. They have this wonderful deli. They have all these bakery goods. They have the entire counter full of what is all that meat. The meat, the mortadella,
supersada, prosciutto, gabagool, managgia che vale questa là. It's funny. Giancarlo said to me last night, he told me a story. He said, Mike, he says, my father told me a story. He said, questa la giannagata, questa la tutta cosa ma fanno pletto. Oh, did you folks hear this before?
Anyway, but so you got to check out Sienna's. We're there every Wednesday night at the Sienna's Authentic Italian Trattoria. And that's with jazz and cocktails with featured guest artists Michael Leonetti, Jimmy Molador, featured guest David DaCosta, also the Chad Michaels on piano, Spider on bass, and Joey Vespi on drums. And I just got to tell you got to make reservations, folks, for next Wednesday.
Ladies, seriously,
and you might want to do it today because we got so busy last night.
You got to. We don't have any room in that place.
People were showing up, and they're like, well, we don't have any room. Where are we going to put you guys?
No, but Sandy, I got to tell you, it's a great honor because, like I said, your friends can come once, maybe twice, and every other week. Every Wednesday.
I know.
Same people and more, and it's really great.
Oh, Nan and Brad with
Nan and Brad. They're Jews.
Oh, my gosh.
They're Jews. You know that.
I don't know anything about that. I don't really understand all that.
I do, because guess what? We're going to their mother's house and she's making gefilte fish, which I love.
And
chicken livers, which I love. Lox, which being Italian, you would swear I was a Jew.
Cream cheese
I love that stuff, man. I'll suffer for it. I will blow up like a balloon, but I got to tell you something. I'm going to put a big dent in that table when we go on there on the 24th.
And everyone listening is going to think that all we do is live for food.
Yes, I live for food. Live for food.
He sings for food.
Yes.
So, listen, our guest today is recording artist Elizabeth Pope. You're a recording artist, Elizabeth Pope. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
You're all right, Liz? We love you, Liz.
So tell me, tell me a little bit about overcoming obstacles.
Well, overcoming obstacles, that would be growing up. I had a lot of difficulty just really learning in school. I grew up with learning disabilities, so I had to have just extra assistance, like tutoring, and just that type of thing itself, and that really helped me to propel my education and to really succeed, because when I was going through all the testing and when I out in the East Coast and when I was going through all that, it's really the doctors that did all the testing really felt that I would probably not go past beyond high school and graduate. Well,
really?
Really, and I proved them very wrong, and I graduated with high school with honors and in college with honors.
So what do you contribute that to?
I just contribute that to perseverance and really not giving up on anything that I set my mind to do.
So I'm sure your family was very instrumental in helping you, right?
Yes, they were. Yep.
Very supportive.
Yeah, very, very supportive.
So now, what organizations are you involved in right now?
Well, right now I am involved with mostly disability rights organizations. There's one that I absolutely love. It's called Yo Disabled and Proud, and they're a organization that helps youth with disabilities. And
did you say We're Disabled and Proud?
No, it's called Yo Disabled and Proud.
Yo?
It's Youth Organizing Disabled and Proud.
Youth organization.
Yeah,
okay.
For youth,
Okay.
Yeah. It's for youth with disabilities, and I'm very active with them.
Okay. And so what do you do? Do you help put on concerts and things like that to raise money, or is it that kind of involvement, or?
That's an idea I've had, and I'm hoping that they may want to do that in the future. What I do really is just I've helped with different fundraising events with them at different maybe coffee shops, and every so often, every year, they'll have a coffee shop, or they'll have a different organization kind of match the funds that we raise. So I've been involved with Yo for a few years, and they're a great organization that do a lot of great work.
Well, that's great. Now, where can people find your music?
Well, people can find my music right now I have it up on my website, which is lizpopelive.com, and as well as they can follow me on Twitter on that @LizPopeLive, and on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/ElizabethPopeLive. And then tomorrow, my EP is going to be out on iTunes and Amazon and Google and Spotify. So.
Great. Now, are you working with a producer on this, or was this a self-published? Is this self-published?
Yeah, I did work with a producer on the whole EP. Yes, I did, and he was outstanding.
So, is this a 5 or 6 song EP?
This is a 6-song.
6-song. Now, for those of you listening who don't know what an EP is, it's usually just 5 or 6 songs. Instead of doing a full CD, which would be 10 to 12 or 15 songs, like I did, then you just do a short number of songs and you get that out there. And then you find out, what people like, and you start getting, your likes and all that generated on Facebook. And what, Chef Michael?
No.
I think Chef Michael wants to ask you a question.
No, I don't know.
Yes, you should ask me a question.
We were talking about. I was with John Lindquist. We were talking about death. You know what I mean? And
death.
John. I don't know why this guy brought this up to me. And I had a death experience years ago. You know, I took a heart attack, and I died on the table.
It's no laughing matter.
No laughing matter. And it's just a true story, Liz, and I want you to listen very carefully, because Liz is going to sing again, right?
Yes.
And what happened was, Liz, is that I died. You know, and it was true. You know, like you see a white light. Well, I go to heaven. And a guy in front of me, you know, it was a very peaceful feeling, you know, and this is the truth. And I told this story many times. So there was a guy in front of me, and I go through, I was on a cloud, you know, and there was a gold, and, you know, I guess maybe it's your mind. It was a golden gate. And there was a very handsome, tall gentleman, and the guy in front of me, his name was Angelo Bombolini. That was his name. I'm serious. I remember it was, I mean, you can't create a name like that. And St. Peter is at the Golden Gate, and he is there waiting for you to come in. And he says, St. Peter, he says, I'm here. He says, I know, Mr. Bombolini. He says, I'm here to come into the gates of heaven. He says, I can't let you in.
What?
I'm standing right behind this guy. I'm saying, oh, my God. And St. Peter said, I can't let you in. He says, why not? He says, because you didn't do anything good on earth. And Mr. Bombolini said to St. Peter, I did a lot of nice things. He said, name me 2 things while you were on earth. Now, Liz, he looked at St. Peter. He said, I was once in Las Vegas. Now, the minute he said Las Vegas, I'm watching St. Peter's face, because I know that Vegas wasn't here when St. Peter was around. He says, I seen a woman. She was crying, and I walked up to her, and the guy was Italian. He spoke like Giancarlo. And he walked up, and he says, why you cry? She says, I lost all my money. He says, don't you worry. I put my hand in my pocket. I give her $2. He looked at St. Peter and said, well, isn't that good enough to get me in the gates of heaven? St. Peter said, Mr. Bombolini, I can't let you in. He said, all right, look, name me something else. He said, the next day, he said, I seen that woman again. I said, how you do? She says, not so good. Well, she was Italian, too.
I was going to say, she's Italian.
He says, why not? She says, the $2 you gave me, I lost. He says, don't you worry, I give her another $2. Now, he looks at St. Peter, Liz, and says, can I get in? St. Peter said, Mr. Bombolini, number 1, you're aggravating me. Number 2, I don't know. He said, well, ask the Lord. Well, Liz, 5 feet away, I turned to the left, and I seen a bright light. There was a guy with long hair, powder blue eyes. I know it was the Lord. St. Peter looked at him and said, what should we do with Mr. Bombolini? And what do you think the Lord said? Give Mr. Bombolini his $4 back and tell him to go to hell. That was John Lindquist. I love that.
I don't know about you, Chef Michael. What am I
listen, I like to do lots of good, and that's a true story. And then what happened was, I woke up and I came back to life.
Somebody pulled you out.
No, I was told to tell a joke.
Well, anyway, Elizabeth, so this next song that we're going to hear is called Extinguished. And you said this is a personal song, a very, you know, personal song. So do you want to tell us anything about it?
Yeah, I'll just
play it.
Yeah, just go ahead and play it.
Okay, let's play Extinguished, and this is by Elizabeth Pope.
Their venomous negativity, and then the flames extinguished. Combing my hair through my hands, I'm sobbing these emotions away. Anguish, pain, and guilt all rush back into my soul. I watch the candle flicker. Inside I see my siblings cry. My family torn apart. The scars aren't put back together, and then the flames extinguished. Combing my hair through my hands, I'm sobbing these emotions away. Anguish, pain, and guilt all rush back into my.
That's Elizabeth Pope.
Oh, Elizabeth. This sounds like Barbara Streisand to me. You're great, Liz.
No, totally different style.
Well,
you know, it's more like the Joan Baez's and, you know, Judy Collins and things like that. It's folk songs.
I love folk songs. It makes me cry. In fact, I'm crying now.
Well, listen, if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And we'll be right back after a message from our sponsors with our recording artist, Elizabeth Pope.
Eileen Shipley.
And my son, Tommy Ward.
And my son, Daniel Emmett.
We're so proud to be on the Chef Michael, Sandy Kastel show today.
Tune in every day. Great show.
More interviews, more recipes, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. You know, we've had our recording artist, our guest, recording artist Elizabeth Pope with us today. And, you know, she's got some very special things that she does helping the fight for the disability rights, you know, of people who have disabilities. And also she's a recording artist, new recording artist, and her new EP is going to be released tomorrow, and you can get it on iTunes. Also at her website, check out her website, is lizpopelive.com, or Twitter, follow her on Twitter at lizpopelive, and also on Facebook. Elizabeth?
Yes.
Elizabeth?
Yeah, I'm here.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Oh, I had a great time today. Thank you so much.
And I would like to ask you a question. I have an organization called WEMA, Women and Men in Music and Arts. And one of the main things that we do is we love mentoring artists of all ages, and we empower artists of all ages through education, mentoring, and scholarships. And one question I'd like to ask you is, what advice would you give? What is the number one thing that you would tell somebody starting out in the industry, or doing anything, but especially in the arts, if they wanted to get into this business, with disabilities or without?
Yeah, well, you know, you really have to learn, you have to really hone your craft, really, you know, get everything fine-tuned and ready to go, and also really learn the music business side of it, because that's something that I'm learning right now. Mm-hmm. And once you have all those tools in place, you can really, you know, feel comfortable and be able to share your music with everyone, and not be kind of and continue to spread your message and how you want people, and how people can connect with you through the music that you put out.
Well, thank you so much, and I really appreciate you calling in today and being on our show. And if you would give Ryan your number, then we would have. We're going to have John Lindquist give you a call back and ask you to do a shout-out for us. How's that?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So thank you so much again. And again, check out Liz Pope Live.
Yeah, baby.
Liz Pope Live. Ow! Facebook, Twitter, and her website. And check out her new EP. And what's the title of that EP again?
The Next Chapter.
The Next Chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you again, Elizabeth.
Thanks, Liz.
Have a great day, okay?
Enjoy
and we'll
yourself.
See you soon.
Marvelous.
All right.
Thank you, sweetheart. What a nice lady she was. She was really great.
I know.
Really, really
and
good.
you know, Chef Michael, I got to say, last night we really had some great young talent. We had Daniel. She hung up. Anyway, Elizabeth, call back. Anyway, we had Daniel Emmett with us, and he's a wonderful opera singer, young, talented gentleman. I mean, what I was saying about him last night when I was talking to you afterwards, I said you could really hear the dynamics in his voice. And oftentimes, we don't hear that anymore in music, you know, and that's something that is taught. It's one of the basic things, but you know, I don't know what it is, why we've lost this along the way. But he was a perfect example.
Yes.
And congratulations, Daniel.
Congratulations.
I just want to give you that accolade, because it was really nice to hear the dynamics in your singing, because you were powerful, then you came back, and you were soft and gentle, and then you came back and you were powerful again.
Honey, you said the same thing to me last night.
And then you lifted up the audience, and the audience just broke into applause. I mean, 3 times throughout your performance. And I just want to say thank you again to both you and Tommy Ward. And we're so looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend for the tribute to Bublé and Bocelli. And Tommy, of course, you're singing, and of course you sang the very first song that I learned, which was "You Make Me Feel So Young."
Yeah, baby.
You know,
it's a funny thing, Sandy. I'm glad you brought that up. I gotta go. You know, yesterday, you know, Carl, you know, I always talk about the Grossos, you know, and
the Grossos,
and Bill, you know, did all the construction.
I know, yes.
So I had a cup of coffee with Carl this morning, and sure enough, and it's nice to have $1 billion. You know what I mean? This guy's busting through the wall. Now, me, in my mind, I'm thinking Carl wants to do what Lisa did. You know, put, I guess, not a shoe rack, but more clothes and more. And it's 575 square feet.
Yes.
He breaks through the wall, and he's closing in another room. I said, boy, I figured maybe it's a sunroom, you know. What the hell do you think this guy is doing?
What is he doing?
He's there to count all his money and put it in a special vault. Unbelievable. You would believe that? This guy don't know what else to do with his money. You know who's on the line?
Listen, Carl already told you. He said, look, people are digging in my backyard. They're digging through the golf course to try to get to his backyard. So you got to talk
I have
stop
a ball
talking
with
about
Carl. The Grassos, the billionaires.
About this safe and everything.
I love Carl.
Of course, the walls are so thick and it's embedded in this thing. And, you know. But anyway.
Who's on the phone?
I got to... nobody.
Yes, there is.
No, there is not, Michael. That's Elizabeth's phone number for later.
No, anyway, there's somebody on the phone.
He's thick-headed.
I'm just saying that just to have some fun.
Anything else you'd like to say?
I'm hungry.
So anyway, I just want to say we had a wonderful night last night at Sienna's, and we were looking forward to seeing everybody. However, we also have another event coming up. It's the WEMA Luncheon, and that is August 23rd. And please, please make your reservations now for this, because we're going to have some wonderful entertainment, and I think the Siren Strings are going to join us there.
How
That'll
exciting.
Be great. And of course, Chef Michael is going to be cooking, but also we are going to have some special treats by Truffles and Bacon.
And Tassa Baby Boo Boo.
And Cafe de Cafe de Cebu.
I love her. She's so pretty.
Oh, yeah. And it was so nice of them to come out the other night. And so we're going to have some wonderful things going on. So please make your reservations for the WEMA event. You can go to rsvp.wemafoundation@gmail.com.
Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, we did the television show for Smith's.
I'm sorry. You got to give me that email address again, because I keep messing it up. We did the show at
Smith's, and you go on YouTube and just put shopping at Smith's.
That's right.
And you know what I mean? And you'll really love it. And we're looking forward for everybody. You know, naturally on the television show, you won't be able to call in. But I got to tell you something. You're in for a treat, because this is going to be the #1 television show in Las Vegas. We're bringing back Ed Sullivan. We're digging this guy up, opening up the casket, and bringing him back.
That's right. So tune in tomorrow morning, Friday morning, here on KLAV, 12:30 a.m. on your dial, to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
All right, Carl, I'm going to help you.
I'll see you at dance class.
Yeah, I'm going over to Carl's house. Help him count his money. 200 billion, 300 billion, 900 billion.
Thank you.
Want some other gals dice.